Have you ever noticed why the kindest people often carry the deepest scars? Not because they are weak, not because they are naive, but because they spend their lives believing that if they give enough, love enough, forgive enough, the world will eventually treat them the same way. But what if that's one of the biggest lies we've ever been taught? What if the very thing that makes you beautiful is also the reason people keep taking pieces of you without ever noticing what they're destroying? Here's a question. When was the last time someone thanked the air they breathe? They don't, because the things that are always there slowly become invisible. And kindness suffers the exact same fate. By the end of this video, you won't just understand why this happens. You'll understand the one habit that can change the way the entire world treats you. Stay until the end, because the final lesson may completely change the way you see yourself. Have you noticed something strange? The people who ask for the most are often the people who appreciate the least. At first, it's just a small favor, a phone call, a little more of your time. And because your heart is kind, you don't even think twice. You simply say, "Of course." But then it happens again and again, until your kindness slowly stops feeling like a gift and starts feeling like an obligation. Here's what psychology tells us. Human beings quickly adapt to whatever becomes consistent. Think about your favorite song. The first time you heard it, it gave you chills. After 100 times, it becomes background noise. Not because the song got worse, because your brain got used to it. The same thing happens with people. When you are always available, always forgiving, always sacrificing, your kindness no longer feels extraordinary. It quietly becomes expected, and expectations have a dangerous way of replacing gratitude. That's the invisible trap. The more you give without limits, the less people notice what you're giving at all. Now, ask yourself something honestly. There's someone in your life who never says no, who answers every late-night call, who forgives every mistake. How often do you stop and truly appreciate that person? Or have you simply become used to them? That's the uncomfortable truth about human nature. We rarely notice what is always available. And here's the tragedy. The kindest people often mistake being needed for being valued, but those are not the same thing. Someone can need your time without respecting it. Someone can love what you do for them without truly loving you. The deepest heartbreak isn't being rejected by strangers. It's realizing that the people you sacrificed the most for slowly began to believe you would always sacrifice more. And notice something else. The more you forgive some people, the less guilty they become. The first time someone hurts you, they apologize. The second time, they promise it won't happen again. By the fifth time, something changes. Not in them, in you. Because every time you accept what should never have been accepted, you silently rewrite the rules of how people are allowed to treat you. People don't learn your kindness, they learn your limits. And if your limits never exist, neither does their reason to stop. That's why the strongest people aren't the ones who never love. They're the ones who know exactly where love must end and self-respect must begin. So what should you do? Stop being kind? Become cold? Stop trusting people? No, the world doesn't need fewer kind people. It needs wiser ones. Kindness was never your weakness. The absence of boundaries was. A boundary is not a wall. It is a door. It lets the right people in and keeps the wrong people from making your heart their home. For the first time in your life, give yourself permission to say no without a long explanation, without guilt, without apologizing for protecting your peace. Because every time you respect your own boundaries, you teach others to respect them too. The people who only stayed because you were easy to use will slowly disappear. But the people who truly value you will stay, not because you give them everything, but because they finally see your worth. And remember this, the people who leave when you set healthy boundaries were never protecting your peace. They were protecting their access to you. That difference can change your entire life. Before you go, remember one thing. The world doesn't break kind people. It breaks people who forget to be kind to themselves. You don't have to become harder. You don't have to stop loving. Just stop abandoning yourself to make everyone else comfortable. Because one day, you'll realize the greatest act of kindness was never what you gave to others. It was what you finally chose to give yourself. Your time, your peace, your self-respect. Never confuse kindness with self-sacrifice. The two are not the same. A flower doesn't bloom by giving away its roots. It blooms because it protects them, and so should you. Sometimes the strongest word you'll ever learn is no. If this message spoke to you, subscribe to Verimind, because the next story may be about you. Welcome to Verimind, truth behind every story.